Before we start, I'd just like to welcome the guests that are here tonight and thank you for coming, as well as our department heads and others, media and newspaper. I guess newspaper and video is all media. Media. Okay. And our attorney, our distinguished attorney's over here in the corner.
Okay.
We're proud to have him also. But before we have our meeting, let's stand together and have our invocation and our pledge of allegiance. Our Father, we pause at this moment just to give you thanks for your blessings throughout this day. Lord, we thank you for our community that we abide in. We ask you to continue your blessings upon our citizens. Help us to grow together, Lord, and to prosper in our community and do things that would be in keeping to your will. We ask you to be in our meeting tonight. Help us to conduct it in a way that would be pleasing. I ask the blessings upon our nation and our leaders, our military. There's lots of unrest in the world, Lord, and we know that you're still in control, no matter what men are thinking. We ask you to see us through this life. In Christ's name I pray. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our sound system just a little stronger tonight. Our first item of business tonight would be a recommendation to approve the minutes of the September 3rd, 2019 City Council meeting. We need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Bobby's already made a motion. We need a second.
I'll second.
Wade, second. All in favor of approving our minutes? Thank you. The second item is a recommendation to approve the purchase of a 2020 Chevy Equinox LT from Fox Chevrolet for the lowest bid price of $25,948.10. In order to do that, we also need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
And we'll need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you. Recommendation 3 is to pass resolution 2019-9-16, amending a portion of the Ragsdale CDBG project number LR-CM-PF-18-014 due to funding not being adequate to carry out all the original proposed improvements. And what we had done was include some drainage in that Ragsdale project, and because of the cost, it overran the bid to a point that we could not fund all of it. We were granted $450,000 from the state to go into this project. The city pledged about $205,000, and the Housing Authority had pledged roughly $230,000 or a little more to the project, but the bids came in higher than that because we included the drainage. So this resolution would need to be passed in order to go back to the state and get a new plan approved. Would that be, in essence, correct, Paul? Okay. And Paul's here to answer any questions that might be on your mind concerning this resolution, and willing to accept the questions and answer them for he's the project manager in this case.
How much was it off? What was
The original estimate on the project was $819. The bids came in at about $300,000 more than what Lincoln had. So it's a good bid. It's like $1.1 million was the bid. The drainage was a lot more intense than what we thought it was originally. So But the good thing about it is, most of that money was, the drainage money was paid in the CDBG money, so we're hoping that they won't penalize us at ADECA if we remove storm sewer. It wasn't the primary focus of the project. Basically, the primary focus of the project was to replace the water and sewer. The drainage was a secondary thought. So I guess what we'll do, we'll take this, amend, it's a formal amendment to go back to ADECA, they'll review it. And since the city and the housing authority are putting so much money into the project, we don't think it's gonna have a major impact on the fund.
You just need a motion for us to send it back.
That's correct, the motion was basically that the city would recommend that the formal amendment be sent back to ADECA.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to amend our resolution so we can proceed with the process. We have a second on that motion, Mr.
I'll
Smith?
second.
We got a second. All in favor of making this proposed change in our original resolution? Thank you. We received this notification on item 4. Do you want to address that, Scott? And does this require a vote?
It does not, no, sir, and I confirm
I'm
that.
going to let Scott kind of talk to us about this matter that had come to our attention this week by letter, and we forwarded it on for Scott to look at, and he's examined it, and he's going to explain it now.
Yes, sir. And I asked you to put this on the agenda just in case we needed to vote on it. But what happened was, basically 2 years ago, we granted a standard property tax abatement to Hamilton Home Builders. Well, because of some things that they're doing in Winston County with their new plant over there, which is doing really well, they had to change the property ownership. So they changed the property ownership of the Hamilton facility, and basically they just assigned their rights under that tax abatement agreement to that new company, and which is their right to do. And that was the notification we received last week, and I did confirm that with their attorneys, which is Bradley Abraham, which also has worked for us as well. We've been talking throughout the process, and but they confirmed we don't have to do anything. They've assigned it. Everything's good with them. Everything's good with us. So we're good to go. It's a positive thing because it means they're growing.
The agreement is exactly the same agreement we granted initially.
That's exactly right. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if we'd have to vote on this matter or not. That's the reason it made it on the agenda tonight. But this is just a notice to us, informative notice, so it won't require a vote in this case. Item 5 would be a recommendation to approve the painting of the water department shop that's located on Airport Road for the price of $5,500 from Ramos Painting Company. That's a bid. We've got more than one bid, and this bid came in substantially lower.
You had two?
Yes. I make a motion to accept it. Is that what you're looking for?
Okay.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to accept this bid on the repainting of the shop. All in favor? Thank you.
Mayor, in the future, I just think we need to get more than just two, especially when there's more people in Hamilton that can provide this particular service. I think that more than two bids would be a good idea, even though, you know, it's below the bid threshold as far as I know. I just think getting more than two estimates would be a better deal in the future.
We'll certainly keep that in mind. Thank you for that comment, Tammy. I had a visit today. I'll just make y'all aware of this, and we're going to have some additional business in just a minute. But the census is approaching fast. I had a visit today from Mr. James Lake of Northport, Alabama. He represents Atlanta, the Atlanta district in the census. and he was explaining to me the importance of everyone being counted in this upcoming census, which will start about April of this coming year and continue on till maybe in the fall, about September or early October when the final count's done. In this count, if we want fair representation, we need to all be counted because we stand possibly to lose a congressional seat if everyone is not participating in the census. We'll have redistricting. We'll have a new government in Alabama that'll look different than what it does today. There's $675 billion that's going to be federal money that's going to be spent in the communities and states and counties. We need every person counted. Over $1,600 per person in federal tax dollars is what every single individual that's counted is worth to this community. So I want to encourage the folks that are listening tonight, I want this in the paper, that Hamilton is behind the census. A lot of people think it's just the government being nosy again, but believe me, there's reasons that we need to participate. We need to all be counted in this census. And it's really, really is important for our political clout and not only our state, but in our federal setting in Washington, D.C. It's important that we keep our congressional seat in Washington. And I just urge you to go out and participate in the census. The Census Bureau is still looking for some workers, some volunteer help. And if you'd like to be a worker in the census, if you'll get in touch with me here at City Hall, I'll get you in touch with a representative from the Census Bureau, and maybe they could use your help in helping count the people in this region, Hamilton, Alabama. It's very important. Also, I'd like to make a note that Hamilton has got on board with the bicentennial Scenic 17 yard sale, the 4th and 5th of October. There will be people selling from their front yards, as well as some booths that will be set up in and around our track over here on Highway 17. There will be a census booth over there on that date, and we'll have other people selling, whether it's a club organization or individuals, you can set up and sell in that yard sale. And the yard sale starts in Hamilton, and I believe it ends 240 miles to the south in Chatham, Alabama. So some of the neighborhoods are participating 4th, 5th, and 6th, but our community has decided on the 4th and the 5th. Now, back to our council meeting. I'd like to go out of regular meeting and enter into a brief executive session that has to do with good name and character of an individual. So we'll need to move to an executive session, and we'll need a motion to leave the regular meeting at this point.
I make a motion.
A motion, need a second.
Second.
All in favor of leaving our regular meeting? Now we'd like to call for an executive session. We need a motion for that.
I'll make that.
We need a motion, and we got a second. All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor of going to executive session? Thank you. All right, we will move to executive session in the conference room.
We all be taking a vote.
Sir?
We all be taking a vote when you come back.
No, there will not be another vote. This will conclude all the voting matters tonight. This time we'll need a motion to go out of executive session and back into regular session.
I make a motion.
Tammy made the motion, we need a second.
I'll second.
Herb made a second, all in favor? There's no other business tonight. We'd need a motion to adjourn at this time.
Make that motion.
Gene made the motion, we need a second.
Second.
Joe second, all in favor? Thank you for coming tonight.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/49 County News TV.